Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Rojo urges Edison Cavani to quit Manchester United for Boca Juniors by promising to take him fishing. Rojo has opened up talks with Edison Cavani over a move to Boca Juniors. Boca Juniors are preparing to offer him a 3-year contract. Footballer Insider said not so long ago that Cavani is willing to take a pay cut to join Boca Juniors, and he's already got a verbal agreement with them. We have held talks with Edison Cavani over his future at the club. We want to convince him to stay. Cavani's current contract expires at the end of the season. There is an option to trigger his contract for a further year. Not so long ago, the Uruguay coach urged Edison Cavani to leave. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer said he was hopeful that Cavani will stay, and he revealed that we had been in contract negotiations with him. But Ole Solskjaer said earlier on this season that Cavani was closer to Boca Juniors than staying at Manchester United. Edison Cavani's father said earlier on this season that Cavani is unhappy. He doesn't feel comfortable in England and he wants to leave. Prior to that, reports from Argentina said that Cavani has decided to leave Manchester United after one season. Cavani has sustained a few injuries at Manchester United, but I think he has made a fantastic impact since he's come in. In a lot of the games he's played in, his hold-up play has been good. His movement in and out of the box has been good. He's created chances and he's scored goals. But there's been some games where he hasn't got enough service and he's looked isolated. We got him on a free transfer last summer. He signed a 1-year contract with Man United with an option of a second year. Recent narratives have said we're looking at Mario Icardi from PSG as a possible replacement for Cavani. Now, will Paul Pogba sign a new contract at Manchester United? He says we could offer him a new contract. Paul Pogba's current contract expires next year, because earlier on this season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Solskjaer said earlier on this season he's hopeful that Paul Pogba will sign a new contract, and he revealed that we have been in contract negotiations with him. Now, Juventus recently told Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola they cannot afford Paul Pogba. So reflects on that, it says he won't be making a return to Juventus. I said if Paul Pogba leaves Man United in the summer transfer window, there's a good chance he will go back to Juventus, because he did endure 4 good years with them before he rejoined Manchester United. Juventus are keen on a Paul Pogba swap deal. Says they was willing to offer us Paulo Dybala in exchange for Pogba, and they was willing to offload Adrian Rabiot and Aaron Ramsey to get the money to afford Pogba. Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist and close to Man United, he said Juventus are refusing to give up on re-signing him. Now, Reports from the Italian press said earlier on this season that Juventus were willing to offer us 4 players in exchange for Pogba. Di Marzio said, I think it was the other week, that Paul Pogba still wants to quit Man United. He's got no intentions of extending his contract at the club, and his preferred destination is Juventus. He hasn't only been linked with a return to Juventus, he's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid before, and PSG have been in for him, so Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. We have been getting the best out of him in recent months. Paul Pogba does bring creativity to the team, so I would like him to potentially stay past the summer. Disregarding Pogba, we lack creativity and we are far too defensive. I like Paul Pogba in more of an advanced role on that left-hand side because that's where he's more effective. I'm not keen on him in a deeper role. He started in that deeper role against Brighton recently. He was out with a thigh injury for a long time. He had an ankle injury at the first part of this season, and he was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. So he's sustained a few injuries now at Man United. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. This is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. Mino Raiola has obviously been desperate to get his client out of the football club. A few weeks ago, he criticised Sir Alex Ferguson for forcing Pogba out of the club when he was younger. I presume all United fans disagreed with him criticising Ferguson. And he made the announcement back in December saying that Paul Pogba's career is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. And he also said that he doesn't give a fuck if he doesn't send another player to Man United as long as his clients are happy. But he did say earlier on this season he's got no intentions of destabilising his client's season, and he made an admission saying that he's working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer to avoid offence. So there you go. Now, there is a lot of players on our agenda. You obviously know the news on Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. Now, The Athletic said recently that Man United are one of the clubs that can afford Erling Haaland. But we've got to deal with his agent, Mino Raiola. Now, it's been saying that Erling Haaland is our #1 transfer priority. Borussia Dortmund's CEO has already said that Dortmund are planning next season with Haaland. A couple of days ago it said that we've culled our interest in Haaland because we are prioritising 2 deals. It says we want a centre-half and a right winger instead of Haaland. Now, Erling Haaland's agent, Raiola, and his father, Al Finch Haaland, have already been to England for talks with several Premier League clubs. They've also held talks with Barcelona and Real Madrid. Dortmund are demanding £150 million for Haaland, which is a substantial amount. But the main explanations I take him at Manchester United is because he'd dramatically improve us, he'd assure us goals, he's still young, he's got a lot of development in him, and plus he knows Solskjaer well. Solskjaer obviously gave Erling Haaland his debut at just the age of 16 at Molde. Not so long ago, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer revealed how impressed he was with Erling Haaland in training at Molde. And he revealed that he struggled with bad knees during his time at Molde. A few weeks ago it said that Ollie kept calling Haaland to persuade him to join Manchester United, because he said earlier on this season he was following Erling Haaland's progress and he's keeping in touch with the player. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in his press conference prior to the game against Brighton that he's played down talks of Man United chasing Haaland. He said Haaland will make his own mind up. Erling Haaland's father, Alf-Inge Haaland, has spoken about his son's career and his prospects, and he's spoken about his son's transfer links to Man United before. I can assure Haaland will leave Dortmund in the summer transfer window if Dortmund fail to qualify for the Champions League. Don't forget, back in December 2019, Solskjaer and Woodward went to Norway to meet up with Haaland and that to negotiate a possible move to Man United. He does have a £68 million release clause, but it doesn't become active until next year. Haaland has been at Dortmund around, 15-16 months now. He's scored goals for fun there. Dortmund paid just £17 million for him and he's under contract with Dortmund until 2024. There's been a lot of narratives coming out regarding Ousmane Dembele. Now, recent reports have said that we have been dealt a huge blow in the chase for Ousmane Dembele, because Ousmane Dembele looks likely to stay at Barcelona. Ronald Koeman hopes he stays at Barcelona, and Barcelona are preparing to offer him a 3-year contract. Spanish outlet Sport said the other week that we increased our interest in Ousmane Dembele. It says we've been monitoring his displays this season, we're preparing a bid, and we've also been talking with his representatives. I think Ousmane Dembele is valued in the £50-odd million range. Last year, we wanted to get him on loan with an option to buy, but our wishes didn't materialise. Fabrizio Romano did say that Ousmane Dembele is set to hold negotiations with Barcelona over a new contract. He's been at Barcelona quite a few years now. Barcelona got him in a deal worth £135 million from Dortmund back in 2017. Barcelona paid like £97 million up front. He's sustained quite a few injuries at Barcelona, so he is injury prone, so that's my element of concern. He's got like 15 months left on his current contract. But I liked Ousmane Dembele when he was at Dortmund, and I also liked him when he was at Rennes. Liverpool have also been interested, according to Mundo Deportivo. Jadon Sancho to Man United is possible in the summer transfer window. Fabrizio Romano recently explained the hold-up in Jadon Sancho to Man United. Fabrizio Romano has spoken a lot about the Sancho saga. Borussia Dortmund have admitted that they will sell Jadon Sancho for the right price in the summer. Borussia Dortmund's CEO recently revealed that the club will discuss exceptional offers. Now, last summer, Sancho was our number one priority target. But the main explanation we didn't get him is because Borussia Dortmund's valuation was 108 million. We was not willing to meet that valuation, but it was very, very close last summer. Because it said the personal terms had been agreed for Sancho, the agent fees had been agreed, and even a contract had been agreed. But Dortmund made it clear last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. Earlier on this season, it says we was preparing a £50 million bid, because it said we believe we can get him for the cut price fee, obviously with the pandemic and that. But earlier on this season, it said we dropped our interest in Sancho due to the progress of Mason Greenwood, and the CEO of Dortmund said earlier on this season that Sancho, Haaland and more Dortmund stars could be sold in the summer to avoid financial crisis. Sancho was recently infuriated with Dortmund's disallowed goal in their 2-1 defeat to Man City. And there has been quite a few centre-halves on our agenda. Recent reports said that Manchester United will spend big in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer wants to keep transfer dealings quiet. I can assure that Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager in the summer transfer window, and he'll be Man United manager next season. I said he does deserve another season, because we have said that Solskjaer will not be sacked even if we fail to win the Europa League. The Europa League is our only chance of winning any silverware this season. Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, so we failed to win the Europa League this season. That'll be exactly 4 years without a trophy, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. I can assure we'll finish in the top 4 in the league this season. There's a very good chance we'll finish second. If we don't finish second, we'll finish third, but that's not good enough without the Europa League. The summer transfer window will be Ollie's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. So far he's endured 4 transfer windows and he's spent almost £300 million. Solskjaer's already discussed our transfer plans for the summer with our recruitment team. And Woodward believes that Solskjaer is the right man to lead the club forward. He released a statement earlier on this season saying that the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear. So in that aspect, Woodward is backing him. And in general, Woodward's come out several times to show his support for Ollie. And he's assured his job's safe, even when we're enjoying them really bad periods. And Woodward did say towards the end of last year that he will back Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. So yeah, he should get the backing he deserves, because we've got John Murtafy's our director of football, and we've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's not the long-term manager for Manchester United, I can assure that. A lot of United fans disagree with us giving him a new contract. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has agreed a new 3-year contract worth 30 million. You know, it's likely to be 2 years with an option of an extra one. Sources at Old Trafford did say, though, earlier on this season that talks were set to begin any day on the new deal, because Solskjaer is now into the final year of his current 3-year contract. I can assure I won't see out this new contract anyway. But yeah, there has been a lot of Man United fans demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of the club. Obviously, they've got main explanations why they want him out, but there's still some Man United fans that think, you know, he needs more time. This is his 2nd full season at the club. The main explanation is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been here now. I think Ole is our best manager since Ferguson. He's our fourth permanent manager since Ferguson. We've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. That was David Moyes. We sacked him after 10 months. He's the worst manager we've ever had. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. But even if we wanted to sack Solskjaer now, or there was talks about it, wouldn't be able to. Because as far as I'm aware at the moment, there's no one available. And to be honest with you, it wouldn't really solve anything if the club eventually decided to sack him, because when we have been inconsistent, not all of the blame stems from him. He's accountable for a few things, obviously. I've already told you my 2 biggest concerns about all his decision making, and he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. But reflecting now on his being at the club, he has gained some managerial experience. He's learnt quite a bit on the job, and he's tried quite a few different elements. But all he knew when he'd taken over at Man United, it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. Maybe the club give Solskjaer the job too soon. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide or not whether to give him the job. But we gave him the job a couple of years ago because he did very, very well as the interim manager in that 3-month period. But there's quite a few things we've got to credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for. He has made some good signings since he's come in. I like the way he's promoted the youth. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. He did well last season in his first full season. He's done well in some aspects this season. We've got a fantastic away record in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year, and we've enjoyed good periods under him where we have seen consistency. Solskjaer is inheriting players from other managerial eras. There's still some players here from the Mourinho era. There's still some here from the Van Gaal era, but the vast majority of the players Van Gaal brought in are no longer here now. There's still matter here from the Moyes era, and there's only 2 players here from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I think mistakes have been made by Manchester United in the last 8 years, and that's why we haven't been as consistent as we'd like to have been. I think the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for a while, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've overpaid for players, and the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired haven't got the players that they wanted to recommend in. We've brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. Obviously under Moyes we brought Fellaini and Juan Mata in. Louis van Gaal, he brought a lot of players in, didn't he? He brought a good 15, 16 in. He brought likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Falcao, Rojo, Darmian, Martial, Shaw, Herrera, Romero, Valdez. So they're a lot of the players Louis van Gaal brought in, and Mourinho, he recommended 11 players in to the football club. In the last 8 years, we spent over £1 billion. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now, and I don't think Solskjaer's good enough to lead us to a Premier League title. But like I say, quite a few players are going to leave Man United in the summer transfer window. David De Gea, now he could leave in the summer transfer window, but he could also stay. Solskjaer's come out and said the battle between De Gea and Henderson is healthy. He made an admission saying that De Gea is not happy that he's lost his spot. Dean Henderson has started our last 7 games in a row. But recent reports said that David De Gea had made his transfer decision. He's preparing to leave Manchester United, and we're set to pay off his huge contract. We've set the price for De Gea. It's 50 million. And apparently there's 3 clubs that are chasing him. That's Real Madrid, PSG and Atletico Madrid. Some United fans think it would be a mistake by letting him go. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, because I reckon De Gea's now had his years at Man United. He's been at the club, 10 years or almost 10 years? I reckon he's had 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us, because in the last couple of years he's been a liability, reflecting on the mistakes he's made. But definitely a few years ago he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. De Gea's won everything domestically at the football club. He's got 2 years left on his current contract and he's on £375,000 a week. I said there's a very good chance he'll go back to Spain. Dean Henderson, I think he's our number one now. And I said he's reliable enough to be our number one because he's a good goalkeeper. He's done well in a lot of the games he's been involved in this season. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. He's had experience because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. Before the start of this season, he signed a 6-year contract with the club. Phil Jones, very good chance he's going to leave because he doesn't get in our team and he's always been inconsistent. He's been out of injury for about 14-15 months now. He's the only outfield player that's still here from the Ferguson era. This is Phil Jones' 10th season at Manchester United. So he has been a long servant. Axel Tuanzebe, we could offload him because he doesn't get in our team. Nemanja Matic, I think there's a good chance that we'll sell him because he's not one of our first choice midfielders. Donny van der Beek, I think he needs to go. The reason is because he's not getting enough opportunities at Manchester United. Now, it's said the other week that we are considering a swap deal for Donny van der Beek. And 2 Sports said we're willing to offer Van der Beek to Juventus in exchange for Adrian Rabiot. Most of Van der Beek's appearances have come from the bench. He's only started 2 games in the league this season. But Ronald de Boer has actually backed Donny van der Beek to become a success at Man United. Don't forget he was out with injury for a while. That wasn't so long ago he had that injury. Juan Mata, a good chance we're going to offload him. And there's a lot of United fans that are saying we need to offload Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial has been out of form for the vast majority of this season. Martial is injured at the moment. He sustained the injury whilst he was on international duty with France. Solskjaer said it's likely that Martial's going to be out for the remainder of the season. So there you go. Big game tonight against Granada. It's the Europa League quarter-final. Man United are favourites going into this one. But it will be tough. Granada have done pretty well in the competition. Granada progressed to the quarter-finals by obviously beating Napoli and Molde. Molde's obviously Solskjaer's former club. They are sitting 9th in La Liga. Their current manager is Diego Martinez. Granada recently lost 3-0 to Villarreal. I do know some of their players, their key players are Soldado. He's a former Tottenham player, so he's had experience of playing in the Premier League. He says Soldado, he can't believe he's meeting Man United. By the way, I think he's their joint top goal scorer. They've got George Molina. He's their joint top goal scorer, another one of their key players. Luis Suarez, he's one of their key players. He's out with injury, so I don't think he's going to be involved tonight. They've got Yangel Herrera. They've got Lozano, I think he's out with injury. Pepe Sanchez, I don't think he's available. Sorrow, he's out with injury. Charis, he's also out with injury. We progressed to the Europa League quarter-final by obviously beating Real Sociedad and AC Milan. I think we are the favourites to win the Europa League. Obviously, we got to the semi-finals last season, lost 2-1 to Sevilla, and we won it back in 2017 under Mourinho. We beat Ajax in the final 2-0. Yeah, it is away from home tonight. Obviously, next week it's at Old Trafford. We've got a massive game at the weekend. We are away to Tottenham. Match reaction will probably be tomorrow. If I can do it tonight, I'll do it tonight, but it's more likely to be tomorrow. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.